a little bit earlier on. And Dwight Howard has been elected. Just a reminder, he's first ballot, All-Star 8 times, All-NBA 8 times, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2020 NBA champ, and he's got a gold medal with Team USA. Chandler, you first. Amongst centers in NBA history, where are you putting Dwight Howard?
I'm putting him in the Hall of Fame, Michelle. I'm putting him, first.
Chicken.
I think that's all that matters. There's so many great big men centers out there. It's going to be tough to rank him. I'll tell you this: during his stretch, he was the best center in the league for 10 years, if not more. When his run on the Orlando Magic was insane, I was lucky enough to kind of recruit him, get him to Houston, and play for him for a season where it changes the game defensively. And again, nowadays you see guys stretching out, shooting. This isn't him. He was the closest thing to Shaq that we had with the lob threat, with the physicality. He was unbelievable defensively, just, coming weak side, blocking shots. I love Dwight. He was one of my favorite teammates of all time. He's a great dude. I think he gets a little knocked for his quirky personality and things that he's done instead off the court, but on the court, this dude was a killer. He was unbelievable. Like I said, he was the best center in the NBA for 10 years. Much deserved. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. And by the way, he's been so good since high school, coming in, #1 pick, changed the franchise right away. He has been that guy pretty much his whole career. And this is much deserved. So I'm super happy for him.
Lou, do you want to take a stab at it?
I do. This is personal for me. This is a childhood friend of mine. Dwight is somebody that I met when I was 13 years old, and him having the career that he had, going through the things that he went through. Dwight was a media darling. Everybody loved Dwight Howard, and at some point, that narrative kind of changed for him, and people they forgot who he was, and they forgot how dominant he was. I actually got to see him yesterday, and I congratulated him, and he literally took a deep breath and a sigh, and you can tell he finally felt like he got the flowers that he deserved and the recognition that he deserved. First ballot, even being left out of the top 75 conversation, and some of these things, he finally felt like he got his just due. So as a friend of Dwight's, somebody that's grown up side by side with him in Atlanta, in the height of his career, when he was Superman, when he was one of the best marquee players in the league, he always pulled up to anything that I was doing in the community, whether it was a celebrity basketball game or a camp for my kids. He came to one of my camps and he spoke to the kids for about 10 minutes and stayed for the rest of the day, 4 or 5 hours, hanging out with kids. That's who Dwight Howard has represented for me and for my family and for my community. And so I was happy to see him yesterday, happy to see him at peace with everything and how his career went. So big time congratulations to Dwight for sure.
That's really telling that he sighed. He was just finally, I don't have to sit here and feel like I'm an outsider, which is crazy. And by the way, if you look back at the best, 15 or so centers before him, they're all in the Hall of Fame, minus Jokic, who will be. So it's well-deserved, and it probably would have been a scandal had he not done it. Chandler, you mentioned the fact you played with him a little bit. Why do you think he doesn't get more love? The fact that he sighed is very, very much a big part of, he doesn't seem to feel like he gets respected like maybe others do.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's just certain guys that no matter what they do, it's always kind of a negative light shed on them. And again, this guy's just been the happiest, go lucky, big, huge personality outside of the game. And when you watch these highlights, I think people forget how dominant, how much fun he was in the NBA All-Star Weekend and the dunk contest. Again, this is just kind of that stamp of approval where he deserves this, and he's always been a great teammate. I remember when he came to Houston and played with me, he came in with this sick Ferrari. It was this big old hat, and I was like, man, I've never seen that. That thing is dope. The next day he came in, he threw me the keys to the Ferrari and just literally just let me. I think I drove his car for a month. It's just. I just literally just drove his Ferrari for a month. That's just the type of guy he was, type of teammate he was. He was always happy. He always had a big old smile on his face. And I fully enjoyed my time with Dwight Howard. So I think that can be taken as a negative sometimes. The beef with him and Shaq about him, I think there's always things taken negative. But my personal experience, he was a great teammate, great guy, and one of the most dominant players this league's ever had. So I'm glad that he finally got this relief. You know what? Finally, I get my flowers. Finally, I get my respect.
Like the Ferrari 4, like that hatchback?
It was like the Ferrari, like the FF Lusso. Yeah, it was so.
Yeah, the Lusso.
I ended up getting one afterwards. Like it was just like I was like, this is so cool. I met him a week ago. And this dude's giving me his Ferrari. Like this is the kind of guy he was.
It is a cool model. I'm not going to lie. All right, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, T-Mac with a hot take about LeBron. We'll get to that next.
Run it back, run it up, run it back.